What up, Pod Squad? And we're back again for week 6 of Propping Like It's Hot. Week 5, we got off to a good start. Hit the Diggs over 6.5 receptions, the Will Disley over 17.5 receiving yards, and the old Gabe Davis over 47.5 receiving yards. Nothing like the sweat-free win. Third play of the game, 98-yard bomb, quickest over that there might have ever been. A couple misses. A.J. Brown over 74.5 receiving yards. It turned into the Devonta Smith show, and hey, that'll happen. Got 2 alpha receivers, and so obviously better days ahead for A.J. Brown. If you took the bonus of Devin Singletary, it was over 48.5 yards. This one kind of hurt. I mean, he finished with 42 yards, and he had that through 3 quarters, and then they pulled all the starters. If you watch the game, it was a complete and utter blowout. So no surprise that they rested their starters, but 42 yards through 3 quarters, and then no run in the 4th quarter. So ultimately, we missed that one. So overall for the week, we won 3-2. So got a little bit of profit. So up about 2 units, depending on a number of units you wagered on each one. So I had the Diggs one as a 2 unit versus a 1 unit. So I ended up 2.2 units for the week. If you tailed my couple NFL picks against the spread, you're up 4.2 units because I went 2-0 on those as well. On to week 6 though. So to start off, I'm going to go with Deebo Samuel. Right now, he's listed at over 57.5 receiving yards. The Falcons rank 29th in passing yards, given up, and they actually rank 8th in run yards. So they actually keep games close. If you've been paying attention, they're actually 5-0 against the spread. So meaning even if they are underdogs, they're keeping these games close. So that's going to help ensure exactly the opposite of like the Bills game. It's going to keep Deebo on the field, keep him in the game. Right now, he's averaging just over 13 yards a catch, so we're looking for about 5 catches in this game to clear this 57.5 number, which I certainly think he'll get. Next one, I'm moving on to Breece Hall. I'm going with the over 57.5 rushing yards. If you want, and you think that they're going to be playing from behind, his over rushing and receiving yards is at 81.5. But as far as the passing game goes, he really only gets anywhere between like 2 to 3 targets a game. And while his receiving yards look good, they usually end up being massive plays. So 70-yarders, 60-yarders, whatever that may be. So for me, I just felt it's safer to go the over 57.5 just rushing yards. Truly, he's averaging just over 5 yards a carry. So really all we're looking for is like 12 rushing attempts. And in the last 2 weeks, he's had 17 and 18. He seemed to be taking over that backfield from Michael Carter. So my guess is he's certainly going to hit closer to that 17, 18, 19 rushing attempts, pardon me. So I think we're going to hit this over of his rushing total of 57.5 yards. Next one I'm hopping into is Mike Evans, the over 63.5. Over 63.5 receiving yards. He's cleared this in 3 or 4 games. He sat out week 3. And his one miss that he had 61 yards. As everybody knows, that Buccaneer receiving core is totally banged up. Looks like Julio is likely going to be out again. Godwin's slowly working his way back. So ultimately, I think he's going to get the targets and play plenty to get this over 63.5 receiving yards. My last official play is going to be Mr. Justin Jefferson. The man is an absolute target hog. His receiving yards opened at like 86.5. It's a pretty decent number, so I'm actually going to pivot and go toward his receptions. I thought this was going to open at 7.5 receptions, meaning we need 8 to win, but it actually opened at 6.5, so I jumped on it right away. I think, again, he's averaged anywhere between 10 to 12 targets a week, so we only needed him to catch 7 of those. And efficiency-wise, I think he had 13 targets last week and caught 12 of those. So not only is he getting targeted, but he's making the most out of those targets as well and getting the reception total. So I got JJ to go over his 6.5 receptions. If Xavier Howard is out, he's certainly their best cover corner, so I would potentially look to the over of the receiving yards of, like I said, I believe 86.5. He's a smooth route runner, and Xavier Howard's been dealing with groin issues. So the quick cuts and the smooth route running of JJ might give Xavier Howard some fits if he does play. But my official play is going to be Justin Jefferson over 6.5 receptions. My final bonus one for the week, they haven't put it up yet, so I'm curious what it opens at. But Ramondre Stevenson, with Damian Harris going down with the hamstring injury, it's the Ramondre show. I think this is going to probably open in the upper 60s as far as rushing yards. They're playing Cleveland, and what the massive thing that New England has is a massive run blocking advantage. They run block very well, and Cleveland defends the run very poorly, oddly enough. So they're very good on the offensive side, being Cleveland at running the ball, but stopping the run, they're terrible at it. New England is going to run out some backups at quarterback this game if Mac Jones isn't healthy, so they're going to want to control the clock, keep it on the ground, and Ramondre Stevenson has looked very good. So again, I don't know what it looks like yet. My guess is it's going to open somewhere in the mid 60s and maybe upper 50s, low 60s, and I'm going to play the over if I get that number. I might pause if I see it around the 70 mark, but anywhere in the upper 50s, low 60s, if it opens that way, I will certainly add that on as a play as well. So my official plays for the week is going to be Deebo Samuel over 57.5 receiving yards, Breece Hall over 57.5 rushing yards, Mike Evans over 63.5 receiving yards, and Justin Jefferson over 6.5 receptions. Thanks all for watching. If you guys want to follow along, hit that little bell, get the notification. These lines move quickly, so as soon as you can jump onto them, get notified that these go up. We're doing well so far. We're up just over 4 units in this last week, so continue to cash with us, and as always, appreciate you guys watching. Let's cash some tickets on Sunday.